Now we're going to talk about different measurements of the angle. Just as segments can be measured using inches and centimeters. So if I give you, I don't know, this long pen, and I ask you, how long is it? Some of you will be like, that's about 10 centimeters. Some will be like, that's about 4 inches, right? Although it's the same pen, you can make different numbers, 4 and 10, because they're different units. You got that? All right. So in trigonometry, there will be different units for the angle as well. They represent the same thing, angle, but they're 2 different units. One is degree, which you've been using so far, and the other one is called the radian. Radian is measured based on the what's called the unit circle. Oh, unit circle is going to be our best friend for next few weeks. Okay? By definition, the unit circle is a circle, center at the origin with radius 1. And there's a picture. There's a picture of the unit circle. Notice it has a radius of 1, center at the origin on the plane. Perfect. All right. So here is how we're going to come up with how to convert going from degree to radian and vice versa. Let's go ahead and find the circumference of the unit circle. Okay, well, what do you remember about the circumference? What's the formula for the circumference of the circle? 2 pi r, right? So 2 pi, what's the radius of the unit circle? 1. So you get 2 pi. So I want you to think of one big circle as 2 pi. Okay? Wait, that's kind of confusing, right? Well, remember, what will that be in degree? One circle will be 360 degree. You start, you end at the same place. Woo, and you make a circle. And radian, one full circle will be 2 pi. So keep in mind, 360 degrees same as 2 pi. There, so this is degree, this is radian. And now, on the next page, then I ask you, how would you go from degree to radian, and how would you go from radian to degree? So in order for us to go from degree to radian, you're going to multiply by pi over 180. When you want to go from radian to degree, we want to multiply by 180 over pi. 180 over pi. So let's go ahead and practice. Right now this is given in degree, so we need to convert to the radian. How do you go from degree to radian? Multiply by pi over 180. Let's go. 90 times pi over 180. 2, I get pi over 2. So 90 degree is pi over 2 in radian. Okay? Alright, now that is in radian. So now let's go ahead and convert to degree. How would I know? Because degree has a degree sign in it. Radian does not have any units to it. Some of you might be thinking, well, if it has a pi, does it mean that radian? Not necessarily, because pi is 3.14. So the easy way to think about it is if it does not have any unit, that's a radian. If it has a degree sign, that's a degree. Okay? All right. So how would I go from radian to degree? Multiply by 180 over pi. So negative 13 over 6 pi. Multiply by 180 over pi. So pi simplified. 630 times, and then negative 390 degree. Yep, negative 390 degree. Notice I put the degree there because it's going to be degree. All right, next question. Find one positive and one negative coterminal angle with 2/3 pi and draw them in standard position. Do this without converting any given into degree. All right. Are you guys ready? Let's go. First of all, let's go ahead and draw 2/3 pi in our plane. When we did this with the degree on the previous page, right? On the previous video. So that's how we're going to draw it, okay? So there's my initial side on the positive x-axis. How big would be 2/3 pi? Well, first of all, it's a positive angle, so I need to go counterclockwise. Counterclockwise. On the previous page, for the degree, we did 90, 180, and so on, right? We added 90 because this much is 90 degree. How much would this be in radian? What was 90 degree in radian? 90 degree was half the pi. So this much is half the pi, and 180 will be pi. You guys good? Wait, you lost messenger. Okay, let's do it one more time. On the previous page in the degree, we know that it's every 90 degree you turn, right? So that's 90, that's 180, that's 270, and then one full circle is 360 degree. In radian, we're not doing 90, we're doing half the pi, half the pi, half the pi, half the pi. So instead of 90, 180, 270, 360, we're going to do half the pi, pi, 3 half the pi, and 2 pi, because 2 pi is same as 360 degree. Cool? Alright, so where would 2/3 pi be? That's more than half the pi, but less than pi. So somewhere over here, I end it, and there's going to be my terminal side. Notice if that's a pi, that's about 2/3 of it. Does that make sense? Yeah? Alright, so there's my picture. Now let's go ahead and find one positive and one negative coterminal angle. What's the definition of coterminal angle? The angles with the same terminal side. So you start with the same terminal side and go from there. Let's do the negative first, okay? Negative. Wouldn't you agree that if I want to find negative coterminal angle, you start with the here and then you go to clockwise over here? Yeah, that makes sense. Now how would you find it? How would you find what that is? Well, over here, that much is 2/3 of pi, and then the reference angle was 1/3 of a pi. So this much is 1/3 of a pi. Then how much will be the 180 plus that? Well, we're not doing degree. Pi plus 1/3 of pi. So it'll be negative 4/3 of a pi. Because we're going negative direction. So it's a negative pi and negative 1/3 of a pi. What about this one? Positive coterminal angle. I'm just going to make one circle, boop, and then get to the terminal side again. Okay, so one full circle makes it 2 pi. And I need to go another 2/3 of a pi. So I get 1/3 of a pi. Okay, I think I might do this in a class, or I might not. Just to quickly give you a hint about the coterminal angles. Is this cheat sheet for degree. Let me just give you an example of all the coterminal angle. What do you notice about these three? Do you agree that there is 360 angle difference between all the coterminal angles, right? Because you keep making the same circles over and over again. Same thing in radian. We have 3 measures over here. We have 2/3 of pi, we have negative 4/3 of pi, and we have 1/3 of a pi. So let me write that down. Negative 4/3 pi, and 2/3 pi, and 1/3 pi. What do you notice? The difference between each coterminal angle is 2 pi. Why is it 2 pi? Because 360 is the same as 2 pi. Duh, it makes sense. Okay? Alright, we'll do more in the class. Given this, draw them. Okay, so let's go. 275 degree positive, so I go counterclockwise. Let's see. 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 degrees. So I need to go a little more than 270 degree. Boo, right here, this much. There's my terminal side. So I drew my angle. What will be the reference angle? Reference angle is this much over here. And how much is that? That much is 5. So what's 90 minus 5? 85 degree as a reference angle. Did I do anything? Which quadrant angle terminates in? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth quadrant. Wow, that's horrible. Fourth quadrant. Because remember, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, negative 5/3 of pi is negative angle, so I go clockwise. How much is 5/3 pi? Well, remember, that's a negative half the pi. That's a negative pi. Because instead of 90, it goes half the pi and then pi. 3/5 will be more than a half, but not quite. So I stop right here. So there's my terminal side. So it terminates in 1, 2, 3, third quadrant. What would be the reference angle? If this much, well, reference angle location will be here. If that much is 3/5, this much will be 2/5 of a pi. So reference angle, well, I'm trying to pen. Reference angle will be 2/5 of a pi. Okay? All right, we'll do a lot of practice in the class, okay? All right, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.